Hey guys, Juju here, and welcome back to another awesome Java programming tutorial. And in this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and explain everything again, just so it's nice, crisp, and clear, as long as I can speak clearly. And we're going to go ahead and test this program. Alright, so what we've done here is we went ahead and created a scanner. And this is used for the user's input and whether they want to, we use this multiple times to detect what they're saying and when to send it. The server socket is so that at least one of the people are the server and have the server socket so that you are thus they are connecting to you if you have the server socket, or you are connecting to them. And now if you are using this not in a LAN, meaning you guys are not connected to the same router in the same network, then you actually need to do a port forward, but you can probably find another YouTube video for that, and they could explain it better to you than I can. But if they are on the same network, then you should be able to connect using this socket. So this socket goes out, and this socket does not require a port forward because it goes out and doesn't listen, it just connects to wherever the port is distinguished and where the IP is. The input and output streams are used for communicating. So when you send text, that would be an input. But so if you were writing, and your friend were to send something to you, well, that would be input, and you would be receiving that. And so this is the output stream, and this is the stream that you're going to use to write your stuff to. So if you say, hey dude, this is going to the output stream and it's going to send it all the way to him. The port is integer just to distinguish where the IP is. Sorry, not the IP, the port. Then we go ahead and print something out showing that it's working. Then we go ahead and try all our stuff, set up the server, and if they don't enter an integer, they don't want to be the server, so let's ask them whether they want to listen or connect just to make sure in case they do want to still be the server. And we go ahead and ask or take that as input, and if they enter L, we set up our server, and otherwise, other case is that they enter C, then we're going to set up our connection. But if they didn't enter any of those, we're just going to say that we're just going to tell them that it was an invalid operation. If an error occurs, it'll print it out for us, and no matter what, we want to clean up, and this is just a little house cleaning where we clean up all our objects. Hopefully we do not get this error, because that's really bad. If an error occurred during cleanup, that's just a little sad, and it must be a pretty big error that we didn't account for. And so in our server, we go ahead and open up our server socket, then we listen for connection and automatically accept it, and set our socket back to it. So use that socket, that way we can use the same streams. And we open up our input stream and output stream, and we go ahead and clean our output stream. And then we start listening to the user. And so we go ahead and create a new instance of PTP client in a new thread, and we start it, which is this method down here, if you recall. And that is bugging my OCD. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and continue. So when we do this part for both sides of connection and server, so and then while the socket is connected, we go ahead and we get the input that they typed into the console, and we try and write it out to them. And no matter what, we're going to let it sleep for 20 milliseconds, just so that it has time to catch up to us. Enter IP address, and then we give them an example. And then we go ahead and split it by this, it's called a regex. And so this will give us this as the 0, as we called down here, and the port will be the first, as we said here. And so we try and parse that, and we go ahead and set up our new socket, and we attempt to connect. Otherwise, if it does work, it'll say connection established, and then it'll set up our streams for us, and then it'll clean up the stream, and everything is the same as before in here. When we're listening, we go ahead and try to listen while the socket is connected. We go ahead and get the input from your friend who is writing to us, and we go ahead and add this just so we know who's talking, and we add input, and that's it. So to run this, we could go ahead and hit the plus run here and go ahead and run it, but it's kind of confusing on how Eclipse does it, because it doesn't show side by side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export it. So to do this, go ahead and right click on your project and hit export. When you do that, you're going to get this, and you want to go under Java, and we want to create a runnable jar file. Let's go ahead and hit next, and it's going to ask what your launch configuration is. So which one do you want to launch? Well, we want to launch PTP client, and it's not going to give me that option. Okay, that's very thankful. I love that. Did I mess up in my main method? Public static void main class runnable. That is definitely odd. I wasn't expecting this error. Yeah, that's public. Okay, so export runnable jar file. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. I'm unsure of this error. I've never encountered it before, so I'll go ahead and try and figure it out and be back with you when I have the answer. Hey guys, I'm back, and I figured it out. What it seems to be is that you at least have to run it once so that the .class files are created. And as you can see, I did run it, and I just exited out immediately, not actually going ahead and running it. But you see a sneak peek of what our results are going to be. So let's go ahead and select PTP client, and then let's go ahead and select where we want it. I'm going to put it in PTP client.jar, and now that's where it's going to export it. And so we're going to go ahead and export it and hit finish. It's going to do all that for us. And now we can go to our desktop. And now what we need to do is we actually need to open a command window, because if we click it, we didn't create a GUI. So go ahead and press Control-Shift on your keyboard and then right-click. If you don't, if you have something selected, it's not going to work. So go ahead and click over here, and then right-click and open command window here. And so when you do this, the command window should pop up. And just to do this, we're going to type Java and do jar, and then we're just going to type PT, and if you don't have something else called PTP, just go ahead and hit tab, and alright, and go ahead and do that again for us. I'm going to go ahead and do that again for a second window. Java-jar PTP client. Okay, I'm going to make this one listen, and this one is going to be listening for a connection. I'm going to connect with this one, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to again open a new one, and I'm just going to type ipconfig, and here is where your IPv4 address is. And so mine is 192.168.1100. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, or actually you can't copy unless, yeah. So just memorize it and then go ahead and 192.168.1.100, and then default port is 2231. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and voila, it initialized the server, listening for connection, and then it set up our streams because we successfully connected. So if I go say hello, user says hello, and let's assume that they weren't replying in it first because they were waiting for a really long time. All right, it seems to be working. You can this is why we added that little thing here, is so that we know who's talking. Otherwise, it would just look like, "Are you there? Yeah, it's all right now," and it looks like you typed that all out. And so that's why we did that. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this window because there was a purpose why I went ahead and made this for the desktop, and that's because I actually have this program on my laptop too. And so I'm going to go ahead and try and connect to my laptop. So I'm going to go ahead and type java-jar, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh wait, this is going to work, PT, and then okay, and I'm going to be connecting because it itself is not it itself is the server. So let's go ahead and enter its IP, and it is 107, and it is also on the default port. And I know you can't see my laptop screen, so I'm just going to say hey, hello, and we haven't got any errors. And on my screen, it went ahead and it did work. So I'm going to type from my laptop now. All right. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope that this helped you. If you found this tutorial useful, give it a like. If you want to see more tutorials like this, go ahead and subscribe. This was Juju, and hopefully see you in the next tutorial.